Okay, hello, and today we're going to be making a little gun. Works pretty well. It's going to shoot toothpicks, which is pretty cool, and it's actually pretty simple to make. And yeah, so I'm going to give you a quick demonstration. As I said, it shoots toothpicks, and yeah. As you can see, it works pretty well. And yeah, so let's get started. So these are the materials you're going to need to make your gun. You're going to need scissors, popsicle sticks, a knife or something to punch a hole with, toothpicks for the ammo, hot glue gun, clothespin, and your string. Okay, so the first step is get 2 of your popsicle sticks, cut them down to maybe 2.5 inches, how big these are, and then on one end you take your scissors, and you can either cut it at an angle or whatever you want, and you cut it, and so later on this is going to be your handle. So you can go ahead and set this aside for now, and get 2 more popsicle sticks. And so this step is kind of important because you're figuring out what angle you want your handles to be. So if you want your handle to be like kind of that angle, then you take those 2 popsicle sticks and hot glue them like that. Well, one on this side and one on the other. I would like my handle like that. So I'm going to go ahead and hot glue that. Okay, so got that side. And I can go ahead and get and hot glue this side. Oh wait, don't do that. First thing I'll need to do is take like another popsicle stick and cut it down to just maybe about that, to where it's just there's a little overhang on that piece that you just hot glued on. And that is so you can continue the length of the barrel. So yeah, go ahead and hot glue that there. And also, you don't have to use hot glue for this video, just might take a little longer if you're using regular glue. There we are. Okay. Now you can glue the other side on. So there you go, sort of the start to your gun. It's about maybe around halfway. Still have to get the barrel a little longer, and we also have to get the launching mechanism in. So yeah. Okay, go ahead and take one of your popsicle sticks and cut off the one rounded side, and then hot glue it on that little overhang that you have left on your gun. And before you do the other side, you're going to need to get another popsicle stick and fill in the gap in between. So you can go ahead and put that popsicle stick, like, round it up with this one right here. And then when it's like that, just go ahead and cut off that end that's overhanging. And then hot glue that there. Fits the right size. And you can either have your tip still rounded in the end, or you can cut it off flat. But I'm just going to leave mine rounded for this. And then take another popsicle stick, cut off the rounded side, one rounded side. And hot glue it on. So at this time we have the muzzle, the barrel and handle of your gun. So let's continue. Okay. So for this next step, it's gonna be a little tricky, but this is when you use your hole punching tool. Me use my knife. Go ahead and get out the steel tool. It's great for punching holes. You want to place the hole right about like 1 or 2 inches away from the end of your handle. So right here. Make sure it's right around in this area. So when I'm doing this, I like to just like punch a hole right here and then try and go to the other side and punch a hole in the exact same place. Kind of makes it a little more easy. Ow, just burnt myself in the hot glue gun. Can move that. Make sure your holes are pretty close to the center of your popsicle sticks. Switch back and forth from the two sides. Try to keep the width of them even. Just keep switching back and forth. And I think I've punched it all the way through. Just to check, I'm going to use a toothpick. Doesn't quite go all the way through, so I'm going to make the hole a little bit wider. Yeah, now I got it. So this is going to be the hardest step out of all of them. And then this is when you get your clothespin. Yeah, you get your clothespin, and so go ahead and take it apart. The metal piece is what we're going to be using for the trigger. Well, I guess this part is kind of hard too. But you have to get the spring open and stick this hole, well, this point, through the hole you just made. I'm sorry if it takes me a while. You can probably just skip through a few minutes if you want, and if you go too far, you can always rewind. Okay, so I finally got it in, except for it's upside down. I'm very sorry, guys. This is taking me longer than I hoped. Okay, so I finally got it. Now I gotta take this piece and put it on the top. So this is gonna be the trigger. Gonna be a notch back here. You pull it back, sets the trigger, and when you pull the trigger, it'll release. So that part's done. Okay. And now I guess we'll work on the notch. So I have this overhang here, which isn't exactly supposed to be there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take my scissors, cut that off. You have that. Take a moment and do that. Might use my knife. Might work a little better for me. But also, it's not too important to get that perfectly off. Okay, so